These 5 chess puzzles will surprise you. Why do I say that? Because today we are looking at Chess Calculation Training Chapter 3, which talks about unexpected tactics. Essentially, you're going to be given a position that looks sort of stale or static. It doesn't look like there exists a crushing tactic, but indeed a venomous one exists, and it is going to be your task to find it. So we have 5 of these examples. I'm really thrilled. The first one's already on your screen, so I'd urge you to pause the video, white to play. How can you win in this position? So the win here begins with the crazy queen to d7. Now the reason that this is really surprising is because, well, we have a knight here that is hanging, and so the instinctive move is to move the knight anywhere, really. But you completely ignore the knight, and your idea, conceptually, is to get an attack along the 7th rank, which will be so powerful that the knight is simply insignificant, and your attack will win on the spot. Now, how does this actually turn out practically? Well, first, if they just take the knight immediately, let's say something like this, well, now we're going to infiltrate. Rook to c7, we're threatening mate, they can take, doesn't matter, we still have this threat, and it's in fact a threat that they cannot stop. Now, we can go backwards. They don't have to take the knight. They can, for example, trade, but it's irrelevant, the move order. If they take the knight now, we still infiltrate. And another issue for them is that if they don't ever take the knight, for example, let's say they stop us from infiltrating by putting their rook here, well, then this knight could actually be used as an attacker. For example, here, queen e6 wins on the spot, and perhaps you recognize this tactic. It is the very thematic smothered mate, super stunning every time you look at it. Moving on to the second tactic, it is black to play here. Pause the video. What move jumps at you? How can you win this position? So the correct solution here is the really beautiful knight takes f2, which again kind of looks surprising because, well, we're told there's 2 attackers, there's 2 defenders, you can't do anything about this pawn. But indeed, with these external circumstances, with the rook covering this e-file specifically, this knight move is very possible, because if they take, well, now we can infiltrate with the rook, and it's very difficult. The pin here exerts a ton of pressure. If their knight blocks, there's a couple of wins. You can go knight e2 and take the rook. If you saw this, that's a really nice idea, but there's a very simple mate as well, which is also really an unexpected blow here. Now, just to go back for a second, the issue is this is not only a pawn that we are winning. This is really a huge attack. Their queen is now also subject to getting hit with these various threats of winning the queen. For example, if their king moves, there's this fork. If their king doesn't move and their queen moves, there's, this move winning the queen. So the issue is the attack continues, and whatever they do, we're going to win a ton of material or checkmate them. On to puzzle number 3. Now in this one, it is true that we seem to have a great position. The rook's on the 7th, the queen controlling the e-file and very centralized, and a nice pawn here. So it does seem like maybe we have some tactic, but if you look concretely, it doesn't appear that there is an immediate one that jumps at you, but indeed there is a hidden and unexpected tactic in this position. So pause the video and give this a shot. Here's the solution. You begin by playing queen to e7, sacrificing the queen and utilizing the weak back rank and very strong, again, double rooks and pawn here. If they take with the rook, we continue by taking with the pawn. Their king has to move, and wherever their king moves, there is checkmate. Now, going backwards, notice that their king is attacked, so if their king moves, this is checkmate as well here. And if their queen takes, the only other legal option, well, now we again take with the pawn, and again, it's very difficult for them to survive. If their king moves, we can simply infiltrate with the rook. As we move on to the 4th puzzle, it is black to play here. What move wins on the spot? Pause the video for some more time. As you're thinking about this one, I do want to quickly remind you that if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that sub button, because we're going through this book. We have many more tactics coming, so if you want your chess to improve and have a good time as well, then make sure you subscribe. But now let's go ahead and look at the solution. The move here is rook takes e2. Now, you're giving away a rook to expose the king, so conceptually that's the idea, but how does this again concretely work? Well, now we give this check. Queen to e8, and our attack essentially hinges on the fact that we have this bishop here, and we have great control over the light square, and in fact both of these pieces are on a light square, so if they block the check, then we know in any way we can then give this check here and win the queen. If they move their king here, we again win the queen with this fork, and their only other option, they can move the king here, but then again we win the queen because yes, this is not a fork, but their queen moves and then we pin their queen. It's a very sad day for the queen. It's simply a lost piece here. And yeah, game over. Very nice tactic here with queen to e8. The final tactic, ladies and gentlemen, number 5, black to play. How can you win in this position? Pause the video and give this a shot. Here is the solution. The move here is the really surprising rook f2. The idea is really smart. We're threatening mate here along the second rank, so they have to react, and specifically they have to take this rook. Now if they take with the king, then we infiltrate along the h2 square, and wherever their king comes, our rook will infiltrate. If they come here, we give this check on f7, and they can block, but we'll just take these pieces. Now similarly, they come to f3, we again give this check, and this will also lead to mate. Now if we go back, they can take with the rook as I mentioned, but here the brilliancies continue. We take their rook, okay, they defend, but now knight to e3, a stunning finish. We're still threatening the same mate on this vulnerable g2 square, and they have nothing they can do about it. They take our rook, we mate them. They take our knight, we mate them like this. Essentially, this is the notion of having two flanks to attack. We're attacking with the knight and the queen, and we're attacking with the rook and the queen. So they can defend from one of those, they can't defend from both. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe for more content just like this one right here. Like this video if you learned something new from it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.